Hey boys, welcome back to some more Storm Career Season 2. It is round 13 and we snuck up into 4th spot. Very congested. There was like 8 teams on 14 points, I think. And we did have a couple of players suspended. I think it was Brandon Smith and Curtis Scott. Scott out for 3 games and Smith for 2, I think it said. But yeah, a couple of big losses there. As you look at the Manly Sea Eagles team. Pretty strong. Obviously, Matt Lodge, the new recruit there. Back row, pretty standard. The bench there, very strong bench actually. Adam Blake on the bench. Damn, he is he's unstoppable, dude. I was just actually, it's a bit. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not to do with this at all. What's the word? I don't know, dude. But it's it's not for this. But I was just looking. I was just thinking about the players that Tonga will have their forward pack for these internationals coming up. I'm making this video pretty much like the week before those internationals play, so they may have already taken place when I uploaded, but as it is right now, the forward pack on paper, they'll have Marty, no, not Tapau. Tapau's actually playing for Samoa, which is pretty cool, but they will have Fafita and Adam Blake, you would expect to be the starting front rowers. And then they will have Tamalolo, Tavita Pengai Jr., Sia Takeaho. Who else? There's another big game there. Who else am I thinking of? There's a couple of others as well. Their forward pack is ridiculous. It's unreal. Yeah, it's gonna be a good game. New Zealand v Tonga, I think. And then Samoa are playing. Who is Samoa playing? Actually, I haven't actually looked at like the other fixtures, but it's gonna be a blockbuster, dude. I mean, I actually really love the new schedule they have for the Origin now. I know some people still would like it to be changed and stuff, but it's way better than it used to be, because having this 1 week where it's a standalone Origin game, you know, no teams are affected, all that sort of good stuff is great. But sort of always the issue was, and I always thought it was going to be an issue as well, was the fact that only 1 game of footy in the week. Like, you know, we need our footy. It was going to be disappointing, but the fact that they've, you know, got the internationals on at the same time, like it makes up for it. It more than makes up for it, because the international games are outstanding. You know, the Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, Papua New Guinea. I actually don't know the exact games that are playing, but you know, they take it seriously, and it's always good fun to watch, dude. So it's gonna be some thrilling games, and Origin obviously coming up as well. But getting back to this game, you know, it was probably a good game to to talk about some other stuff, because there's been a bit of a lackluster first half of footy. Manly v the Storm, the arch rivalry, even though honestly nowadays, like the Storm Sea Eagles, I'm sure there is rivalry there deep down, but it doesn't even really feel like a rivalry anymore. And it sort of feels like that, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, talk bad about the new way rugby league is and stuff, but it does feel like the rivalries and the real, like, you know, animosity between some teams and players is sort of gone out the window. And I mean, a big reason for that is no more fighting, which, you know, it makes sense. As a great play here off the kickoff, it's going to go to Vunivalu, and he is going to streak out and score the first try. couldn't even get a look at the try line in the first half, but the first play in the second stanza, and we're going to go coast to coast there. So brilliant stuff. But yeah, I mean, just the no fighting, and I mean, fighting was never legal. You know, fighting was never legal in rugby league, but it just doesn't happen anymore. You know, it just doesn't happen. The annoying thing is with like fighting and stuff, the way it is now is that it's more like little, like, you know, little cheap shots and stuff like that, and like real, you know, guys trying to just do stuff to annoy other players. Like, it doesn't get you fired up. Like, if you're watching a game of league and teams came together, maybe a couple of punches, nothing too serious, but like a little bit of punching, a little bit of push and shove, you know, the refs would split them up, tell them to settle down, but it would fire it up, dude. It would fire you up watching it, because you just know the next hit up, the next set, it's gonna be on, dude. Not necessarily a fight, but they're gonna be ripping in, and it does happen occasionally. Like, yeah, occasionally it happens, but nowhere near as much. And that was, you know, that was always something that was so good about league. You would just get these moments that it would boil over, and it would just be whoever's running the ball next. It's gonna be a big collision. It's gonna be some physical stuff. And you know, I think nowadays, it's less about. It's hard to say. It's not necessarily less about the physicality and stuff, but I think it is more. It is more like, I think we do see like more acrobatic stuff and more freakish tries and stuff like that, which isn't, you know, that's a good thing in itself, but it is less, you know, hatred, I guess, which, you know, it was always a part of it. And that's why, you know, I haven't talked about this game at all because it's been a pretty boring one, but yeah, you know, the rivalries they're not really there like they used to. You know, probably the Storm and the Sharks, you know, they definitely have it because they have a couple of old school players. I mean, Paul Gallen, you know, he was around during that time, complete grub, but you know, he was around during that time. He knows what it's all about. He's not actually as bad now because he doesn't do anything nowadays. But yeah, that's just something interesting. I was just thinking about then. I don't, you know, I still think the game is fantastic. I think it's as, you know, in terms of skill of players, is better than it's ever been. But you know, you do sort of look back on those times, and I do miss it. You know. You do. I do like going back and watching some older, and not even like really old school matches, just like, you know, 10 years ago, even maybe a bit longer, but well, not even that long really. Like, yeah, there'd be times where it just boils over, and it just fires you up. Like, it really fires you up, and it's great to watch. As a great play there off the scrum. That is our bread and butter play right there. Adokari, he's getting run down. Who is that? Who was that? The number 5. I didn't actually see. Was it Brendan Elliott maybe? He is pretty quick. But yeah, running down the Fox. Bit annoying, honestly. You know, you would hope in that position we would streak away and score, but not the case. So it looks like it's going to be a 6-0 win to us. Adokari again making a little half break. But yeah, pretty mediocre game. It looked like it was raining a little bit, so not free flowing. As we try, probably, you know, probably don't do that at the last play, and Manly could have scored, but we do hold on. So there we go. Pretty boring game, but regardless, hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.